Well, let's see if I can invite some peoples here. Hopefully I can. Well, let's see. All right. All right. Hey, Angela. Not fault, Angel. All right. Well, looks like everybody's coming in. Let me get down to the business at hand. So I'm just going to say now that hello to everybody in case you come in late. Hello. And boy, this shadow's getting on my last nerve. I should have done it where I usually do it. Any rate, breaking down exits. Well, I'm going to get it right to the point. There are too many things in our life that we allow mentally, physically, financially, educationally, or what have you, to stop us from what it is we seek to do. Whether it's a job, whether it's a career, whether it's a business, I don't care what it is. Hello to everybody. We have got to start realizing who we are. So tonight's episode or session, of course I've done an earlier one. This is about you ma'am and you sir. This is about you having what you want, having who you are, who you really are. Now, let me pose this question to you real quickly. If there were no obstacles, what is it you would love to do with your life? In every aspect, as a job, as a career, who you want to help, who you don't want to help, anything and everything. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who are you not being because of perceived limitations? It's time to break down those exits. Now, when I say exits instead of barriers, there's a specific reason why I decided to do that. Too many people have used the term breaking down barriers. I say exits because it's almost as if there are really doors in front of us that we don't get through. Mentally, physically, maybe we have disabilities, maybe we have limitations. But the truth is, there's nothing that we can't achieve together. There's nothing that we cannot achieve. You know, I want you to understand that you are magnificent. This isn't some kind of motivational jazz either. Look, you have things in your brain that if you had the right tools, the right knowledge, the right mental attitude, the right, if you will, courage, nothing could stop you. And I am now getting to that point. Now, I admit it was forced upon me to an extent. When what happened with Annette on March the 22nd/23rd, where she was almost killed by a speeding and hit and run driver. Yeah, that exacerbated the issue. But make no mistake, I'm a different man. And I'm going to be as nice about this as I can. I love each and every one of you spiritually. But make no mistake, there's not a person in the entire universe that's going to stop me. There's only one. Or one type. And that's God. Whether you say God, goddesses, or what have you. And maybe the universe itself, but that's it. There is not one human on this planet that I fear anymore. I don't have time for fear. I don't have time for scarcity. So here's what I want Rick and George and let's see, looks like Jolanda or Jolanda, which I think is a pretty name and a cool name, and Angel, and the rest of you. I want you to know something. I love you spiritually, but I don't have time to wait. So I need action out of each and every person that ever watches my stuff, whether it's now or 5 years from now. I need you to believe in you. Today, this minute, start believing in yourself. And I'm gonna call somebody out in a nice way. His name is George. You might see him I don't know if you're seeing his name. He's down here at the end here. I don't know if he's still here or not, but George is into the horror movies and horror type of show industry. And he wants to bring his brand and type to the networks. He wants to bring it to syndication networks or paid network, maybe like a Hulu or Netflix or whatever. I submit to George. I know he can do it. But see, the problem is we have been born and bred. Almost every human being has been born and bred to either fail or feel like they're failing. Now, I know George. He was on my TV show. He can do this. But he cannot allow limitations in his mind, his body, or his spirit. That doesn't mean that you're going to knock on the door of NBC or whatever network and they're going to say yes. In fact, odds are you may have to knock on 1,000 literal doors. Who cares? Let's get real for a minute. Do you think it really matters if you knock on your 1,000th door and you finally hit the big time? When you have enough abundance and cash flow to pay for everything you need and everything you want, and you can get rid of this mess in the background and repairs like you just seen? Do you think it's going to matter to the men and women who are rebuilding your house? Do you think it's going to matter to the doctor who may be helping your health? Or maybe you're going with homeopathic and your body and your mind is getting healed? Do you really think your mind and your body or whoever you're paying is going to say, well, it took you 999 times of failing? Let me tell you, let me share this with you. It won't matter. Does it really matter that I'm in this house right now and I don't have the cash flow and I don't have the physical ability at this time to fix it? No, because when the time comes, this house, if I wanted to, will look like a mansion. So does it really, really matter if George submits his project and they say no? It doesn't matter. Like Dwayne Johnson, you know, The Rock from wrestling and TV and movies. He used to say, he would ask people a question and he would say, it doesn't matter what you think. Well, guess what? He's not wrong. It doesn't matter. When that money starts flowing, when the lives that I'm impacting start getting healed through a higher power and through my vessel and me being able to get people to act. And George walking into that literal door and saying, you know what? I know I have something good. Or getting better. If it ain't good, get better. If I ain't good enough, I'll find a way to get better. How you doing, Vince and everybody? Look, it is time to say no to scarcity. I'm not going to come at you with all that pretty, sweetheart, delicate stuff. Because guess what? When you walk into the store, and you got to tell your child, if you have one, no, I can't get you this. We don't have enough of money. That needs to stop. And when you're discriminated against because of the way you look who you are, how you was born, what your genetics are, what you love, what you don't love, or any of that jazz. Whether you're a Christian or an atheist or whoever, I don't care. You deserve better. And I know you can do it. So you might come on here thinking, man, this guy, he's something else. He's kind of crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm done with scarcity. I don't know about you. You might leave in 2 seconds. You might not get the value. I don't know. I'm not you. What I do know is you don't want to mess with this. Spiritually. You don't want to mess with this. Because I'm ready to go to anywhere and everywhere. Thank you, Vince. And I'm not going to just knock on that door. If you act like a jerk, I'm going to break the door down. I don't got time to be told no. Now, if you have time to die because of lack of paper or currency, if you have time to die because maybe you get a disease, then let me tell you something. You need to wake up. You don't deserve to die. Not because of a lack. Guess what? The only one that has the right to say when you die is a higher power or the universe for atheists. Guess what? It's God for atheists too, but I'm trying to be nice. Do you really think that your boss, wherever you work, has a right to tell you what you're worth? You're really not worth it because you don't have this education. You only have a 4-year degree. Even though you have a PhD, we can't do that. I don't want to hear it. You are worth it. You are alive today. George is alive. Vince is alive. And everybody that was here who ran away, you know what? You're alive. You want to run away? Go run. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to speak the truth. So let me tell you about me. Since I don't know what George or any of you are willing to do, I'm willing to break all the rules. To say, forget about the way it has always been done. Forget about etiquette. As long as I'm ethical, I really don't care a flying potato. You want to know something? I sent a letter, a message to Ellen. Yeah, the TV show host. I came on TV, on my TV, not too long after hers. I never got my break. So I sent a letter to Ellen. I figured, a couple of years, about a year or so ago, it might be nice. Somebody might answer me. Or maybe she doesn't want the competition. Maybe they get too many messages. But frankly, I don't care if it's Ellen. I don't care if it's Jellen. I don't care who you are. I don't care what I don't possess. You're not going to tell me that I can't make it. You don't have that right. You want to criticize me? And I'm not saying any of you. I'm saying you need to get this mindset in your heads. You have greatness in you, like Les Brown says. You have genius in you, like I say. But right now, you know what most of us on this planet are doing? We're accepting scarcity. We're accepting telling our children, who are only children once, that they can't have something. They can't go somewhere. If I had a child, they want to go to Disney World, you better believe they have a right to go to Disney World. Or maybe George wants to have a multi-million-dollar movie that he has in his mind. He has a script. Who is to say he doesn't have that right? But we can't just want it. We can't just hope for it. We got to slap. Well, thanks, Vince. We got to slap through this disease of the mind and spiritual warfare, whether you're atheist or whatever you are. There is a reason most people on this planet throughout history have been in poverty. There's a reason right now there are multi-billionaires in this country, but the majority of people in this country are living paycheck to paycheck. There's a reason 75% are living paycheck to paycheck. You know what that reason is? You want the truth? It's simply because 75% of us aren't willing to do what we need to do. Aren't willing to say the heck, excuse my language, forget about telling me what I can't do. Tell me what I can do. Because I know what all of you are capable of. And I don't even know you, but I know. You know how I know, in case any of you ever been wondering about that? Because I know what I've accomplished. Yeah, it may not be what a lot of people want. But I'll tell you what I have accomplished. I've accomplished being a groundbreaking talk show host on actual TV. And you might not think that all that no money means a whole lot. But I recently became the first ever producer to shoot a live episode completely on location and via Skype. I'm the first ever. And nobody can ever take that away from me. There are things that Vince has done that nobody could ever take away from him, or George, or any of you. But you know what? We allowed the world to dictate to us. We allowed scarcity to be our lives. And you have scarcity. I'm sorry to inform you. You may be a multi-billionaire, but if you're working to the point where you aren't where you want to be, you have scarcity. I'm putting an end to scarcity. Now you might be thinking, well, if you're putting an end to scarcity, I don't see your house and situation improving. You know what? You will. If I live long enough, you will. And just for the record, I have a history of quote unquote writing checks, and I'm using it as a metaphor, that people think I can't cash. But I've never gone overdraft yet. What do I mean? I'm using it as an analogy or a metaphor or a parable, I guess, people that believe in the Bible, which, hey, I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just simply saying it depends on how you want to perceive it. But what I'm telling you is that through God, I've had the impossible happen on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, just earlier this month, what should have been impossible happened. I'll share this with you as a quick sidebar, a quick one. I told Annette I would have a newer vehicle by April 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, it's April 2018. And I had a newer vehicle on April the 1st. I kid you not. Matter of fact, that ain't true. March 30th, I think I had the newer vehicle. I kid you not. Because I put it in my mind, it was going to happen. Now, a higher power caused it to happen. Okay? And unfortunately, Annette almost got killed by this speeding and hit and run driver. But as a result of that and other avenues, a person who wasn't planning on allowing us to buy another car from them due to the cash flow challenge, suddenly their heart was convicted, if you want to say it, and I have a vehicle. Why should you listen? Why in the world should this mean anything to you? I said it. And you know what? I spoke it into being. Now, I know each and every one of you can do this, especially those of you who believe in a higher power. Do you know what you have? Do you know what you hold? Spiritually now. Do you know what you hold in your mind and in your body and in your soul? Those of you who believe in a higher power and have real faith, do you know what you have? Nothing in the universe can destroy your soul. Nothing. And if we decide to get strong, nothing in the universe can destroy our mind. Not even Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Yeah, your vessel may be all messed up, but eternally, no. And I'm going to tell you something in the material world. You have the power to speak it into being. How else would you explain me getting this vehicle? When I said that to Annette, let me share this with you. I told Annette. She looked at me and she said, are you nuts? How? How are you going to do that? We don't have the cash flow. She said the M word, money. She said, we don't have the money. I looked at her. I said, I don't know how, but I will have a newer vehicle come April 2018. Oh, by the way, I said that the second week of March 2018. That's another reason why she was freaking out. Like, what are you talking about? Let me share this in closing. Let me share this with you. Nobody in the universe has a right to deny you. Nobody. As long as what you're doing is ethical, it doesn't hurt anyone, and frankly, it's loving to some extent. So if you want to do something, get out there and break down every exit, because I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Matter of fact, I want to team up with all of you. Those of you who are willing to do what it takes to reach and climb that mountain. You climb your mountain, I'll climb my mountain, and we'll work together so we both get to the mountains we want to do and get to. Let's help each other. Let's be the vehicle, the tool. I say to you, let's help each other. Let's get it done. Because we can. Any of you want to contact me, as long as you don't block your number, no unknown or private calls, you have an open link to call me. 412-559-2731. Look, there is something coming down the pike here for me. There's no doubt. I want it to be in your future too. But if I were you, I would take me very, very seriously on this. Because I'm telling you, something changed in me that very day, that very night. I said no more. I literally spoke as if I was Les Brown. And I literally screamed it out. I'm not going to scream it as loud as I had done there. But I literally looked at it and I said, scarcity is over. Just like that. And she looked at me and she just kind of looked at me a little bit. She said, what are you talking about? I said, that's it. I am not living in a home where I have only on-street parking where you or I can get killed like that. I've seen too many accidents on my avenue. I've witnessed a guy in the middle of a street, and I don't even know if he survived. Writhing in pain, and we don't even want to go on that ride. So that night, looked at her, and I literally did it the way I had just done it. Only it was a lot louder. And I was like, scarcity is over. See, I like Les Brown. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like him. I don't know about you, but for me, scarcity's over. And the rest of you, hey, I got your back. I'm here for you. But you can't just watch these Facebook Lives or whatever I do and sit back and just expect it to happen. It's not like that. I'm taking action that I don't even talk about. Your turn. Your turn.